Your trip starts at the bottom of Cocora Valley, which is usually on top of every traveler's list when visiting Colombia. It takes about 4 to 5 hours to complete the whole loop around the valley, depending on the route you choose. Most people opt for one of the two trails. One route starts at the famous wax trees and leads you through relatively non-challenging terrain, which makes for an easier hike. The other route is slightly harder, but rewards you with a gorgeous view of the palm trees at the end. The easiest way to get to Cocora Valley is by catching a ride in one of the red jeeps. The drivers in Salto wait till their vehicles fill up with tourists and then drive them to the valley. These admirable skinny giants are the main draw of the trip to Cocora Valley. The Quindio wax palm is the tallest palm tree in the world and Colombia's national tree. The wax palm trees can grow up to be 200 feet tall, and they flourish at high altitude. They can be found mainly along the central and eastern Andes of Colombia, but scarcely also in the Andes of northern Peru. Until the 19th century, the wax from its trunk was still used for making candles, and other parts of the tree were used to build houses for poor farmers. Nowadays, the palm tree is listed as vulnerable and is legally protected. The valley itself is named after a Quimbayan princess, daughter of the local chief of a pre-Columbian civilization. It means Star of Water. In order to prevent the exploitation of wax palm trees and to protect its endemic species, Cocora Valley is now part of Los Nevados National Natural Park. The valley is full of small waterfalls, steep hills, and creeks. Some parts of the valley can also be reached on horseback, which significantly eases the journey through sticky mud and water. Many more hanging bridges, such as this one, were built over the stream at several locations to help travelers cross the river. If there's no bridge to help travelers cross the river, they are not on the right track. These bridges seem unsteady, but they are kept in good condition. They certainly add a bit of thrill to the hike. Reserva Natural Acaime is a detour stop from the hike, but the Hummingbird Sanctuary is an absolute tourist favorite. Colombia is native to 8 different species of hummingbirds that cannot be found anywhere else in the world, and here you can watch them from up close. Seeing cattle on a trip through Colombia is not an unusual sight, since huge portions of land are transformed into grazing grounds for cows. Salto de Bordones waterfall is rated among the highest waterfalls in South America, as it's 1,300 feet tall. The best spot to enjoy it is from all the way across the valley, because the rough terrain makes it difficult and dangerous to reach. Salto del Mortino waterfall is smaller in size than the previous one, but you can get a closer look at it thanks to the viewing platforms which extend to the valley. From one of those, you can see just how steep the gorge is. If you feel brave enough, you can gaze down at the water cascading down and hitting the rocks below. It's truly a spectacular sight which is not for the faint-hearted. Magdalena River is the main river in Colombia. Ever since the colonial times, it was an important strategic route for Spanish conquistadors, as it connects the center of Colombia to the Caribbean Sea. Gabriel Garcia Marquez, a famous Colombian writer, was enthralled by the wild nature surrounding the Magdalena River. It all became the inspiration for his work, which popularized a literary style known as magic realism. You might find it surprising to see bamboo growing here in the country, but in truth, Colombia has the second highest bamboo diversity in South America. Bamboo is still an important necessity to some of the local communities. The Rock of Guatape is an isolated rock formation which rises abruptly from the ground. Though they cannot be seen from here, there are 2 letters, G and U, painted on the side of the rock. The town of Guatape started painting its name on the rock as a sign of ownership, but El Peñol, a town which also claims that the rock is theirs, stopped them before they completed the graffiti. Your trip ends with a gorgeous view of the region from the top of Guatape Rock. It was once a place of ownership for the indigenous Tami population. Now, it's a national monument.